Welcome back, guys. I'm Zell, and today we're doing a top 5 acquisitions of the first half of 2016. My top 5 acquisitions. KnifeCollector031 The Netherlands, Hank, tagged me to do this video, so I thought, well, why not? Let's do it. I watched Hank's video, and you should go watch his as well, and he's got some really neat knives that he's picked up. So anyhow, we're just going to roll right into this. Alright, so just like Hank, I've got some honorable mentions. We have the Spyderco Paramilitary 2, and I know availability's gotten a little better on this, but I was so happy to get this thing. I spent, I don't know, from probably the middle of November last year through March or April or May, I'm not sure, quite a while, and every time to try to get the black blade with the black handles, by the time I would get there it'd be out of stock. And I finally got one somewhere in the early part of June, I believe it was, and it was just a happy day. It's not my favorite knife in the world, but I just wanted one really bad, and I was able to get one. Felt really good about that. The ZT050CF is just an awesome little knife. It is proof positive that you can build a really light, yet fairly heavy-duty knife. And we'll do a video on this one soon. I just acquired it not long ago, and it hasn't even been sharpened yet. I have to take care of that. Anyhow, honorable mention. One more honorable mention is the Mannix 2. Those of you that have one of these, you know the drill, and you can see right here on the blade. You know, that thing, it gets used. And it gets used because this is one of the best actual cutting tools I own. And to be able to get one in S110V, which is an awesome steel, I was really stoked about that. Anyhow, honorable mentions out of the way. Number 5 on the list is more of a learning experience than it is an actual one knife. These knives right here, the Sanrenmu, the Gonzo, and the Kaiser, taught me some things. See, when I started the channel, I really didn't intend or plan on doing any knife reviews from Chinese specific branded knives. I knew the Gonzos existed. I knew the Sanrenmus existed. Kaiser, I'm not sure that they were really in full rollout whenever I started, but I was kind of aware. And I just thought, well, it just can't be. They can't be making all that great a knife. Well, they've proven me wrong. The Gonzos have their issues. Absolutely. But for the money you're spending, it is a great knife. Same thing with the Sanrenmu, and definitely the same thing with these Kaisers. But anyhow, they're number 5 on the list because they taught me what to expect for quality in a Chinese knife. And you know, there's some other makers that have Chinese lines that need to learn from these guys. This is another one of those knives that I didn't think I would get. The Southern Grind Spider Monkey. And the reason I didn't think I would get it is because whenever you're spending more than about 150 bucks on a knife and you can't get it from someplace that has a fairly easy return policy, I want to see it in person. Because I don't want to get a knife that's badly off center. I don't want to get a knife that's got a crappy action. But the Bass Pro Shop, not far from me, got these in stock, so I was able to see them, and it has been a wonderful little knife. It is a great example of a knife that only weighs just over 3 ounces, but look at these liners. You have got a pretty much hard use, just over 3-inch blade knife at just over 3 ounces, and it's just a beautiful thing. So the Southern Grind Spider Monkey is number 4 on my list. Moving on to number 3, This is a kind of an accidental late night, maybe I wasn't quite in my right mind purchase. But this thing right here, it's the Boker Urban Trapper. It is just an awesome little knife. It is by no means a hard use knife, but it's beautiful. The way they did the milling on these holes, and the fact, and I didn't mention this whenever we did the review, there's even holes to lighten the knife up back here under the pocket clip. Brad Zinker did a lot of thinking, and Boker must have let him run loose with this thing, because it is just a great little knife and doesn't seem to have a lot of that corporate influence. You know, where some maker has a really great knife, like, you know, there's some hinderers out there that are made by a company and they don't even come close to measuring up to an actual hinderer. I think that these knives, though they're not going to measure up to Brad's customs, they're a whole lot closer than some of the other makers and their production versions. And it makes for a really great knife. And it also taught me the VG10 doesn't always have to be bad steel. You guys know I'm not a fan of Spyderco's VG10. Sal, Eric, you know, do something about that. Let me know what's going on there. Why does the VG10 give me such fits? Anyhow, Boker Urban Trapper, that's number 3 on my list. Number 2 on my list is one of the same knives Hank had on his list. This one happens to be a plain model. It's a general production. It's not one of the special editions. And I have put a set of Brazilian rosewood scales. But as you guys know, this is a Rat 1 and it's in D2 steel. And you know how I feel about that. You guys have probably watched some of the videos here lately. It is a game changer if they go into general production with this. And I am very happy that I got a hold of one. I'm very happy that I made another one of those, probably not in my right mind, 2 a.m. purchases and picked up these rosewood scales, because it has taken a knife that I probably wouldn't have carried all that much in everyday type situations because of the kind of cheap feeling nylon scales, and really made it a knife that I want to carry. And it's a game changer. At least I hope it's a game changer. Ontario, don't let me down. And number 1. This is a knife that I never thought I would buy. I would go into a knife shop or into the Bass Pro or wherever, and I would look at them. And I would be, man, that is a gorgeous blade. And then I'd stick it in my hand, and the handle material was awful. I would look at the handle and I'd be like, oh my God, come on guys. We have such a beautiful blade here. Why can't we have a beautiful handle to go along with it? And that kept me from buying it for a long, long time. And then I went to Knife Works one day, and they had the 710-1401 with these awesome G10 scales, 3D machined, and black and blue. And I was even kind of worried. I didn't think I would like the high polish clip, but as you can see, it's still on there. I like it, and I've got other Benchmade clips around here, but I've left this one just the way it came from the factory. And then they even hooked me up with M390 steel, and that's another learning experience there. That M390 is awesome. Shines up really well, and it holds an edge extremely well, and I just really like it. So there you have it, guys. The 710-1401 is my top acquisition of 2016, the first half of 2016. I'd like to thank Hank for tagging me and setting me on this journey of kind of figuring those things out, because going through each one of these knives and figuring out why I bought them, what was important to me whenever I picked them up. And yeah, I know you didn't hear a whole lot of, well, this was really, really pretty. Well, that's really not why I buy knives. Now, granted, like this Kaiser here, I picked it up, yeah, because it's kind of pretty and because it was one of the lower cost Kaisers with the S35 VN. But I learned something here. We have something to learn here. The handle scales on this transform this knife from something that wasn't very ergonomic in my opinion in the standard 710 to something that is just awesome. So anyhow, guys, I'm not gonna belabor you with a whole bunch. I could talk about this little mess of knives for, probably a couple of hours, going over all the fine details and all the cool little bits and whatnot. What I will say is if you get the opportunity to buy any of the knives on the table here, take it. Every one of them are good knives. From this Benchmade 710 at close to $200, all the way down to this little Sanren Mu at something like $7. Wherever they fall in their price category, they're gems, as Nick would say. And I don't think you can go wrong with any of these. As always, think about your use case. Think about what you need and what you want. But for me, these are the top knives of the first half of 2016. I really appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out with me. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and go check out the KnifeCollector031 The Netherlands, and watch some of Hank's videos. He's got some interesting stuff. And you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time.